Welcome back to Breslov Campus. We'll be going to some insights in the Parsha of the week, Parshat Mikeitz. One of the things that stick out in the Parsha is the dream of Pharoah. The funny dream, the weird dream that Pharoah had of the 7 fat cows and the 7 lean cows and the 7 full stalks of wheat and the 7 shriveled up, dried out stalks of wheat, and having the 7 skinny and very bad looking cows swallow up the healthy, fat looking cows, and the dried out, very squirmy and dry, miserable looking stalks of wheat swallowing up the nice, plenty, juicy stalks of wheat. What's going on here? So Rashi explains in the Parsha that they correspond to, obviously, like Joseph interpreted the dream, that there'll be 7 years of plenty followed by 7 years of famine, and the 7 years of famine will be so strong it'll be like they swallow up the 7 years of plenty. And the pasuk ends there, Velo noda ki ba'u el kirbena, which means that after the skinny cow in the dream swallowed up the healthy, fat-looking, juicy cow, the skinny, the old, bad-looking cow remained the same. It didn't grow in size after swallowing such a big cow. You would think that it would grow bigger. It stayed the exact same way, in order to express to Pharaoh that the famine will be so strong that people won't even remember the good days, the days that there was plenty, the days that there was a lot of produce. Rav Nosson expands this idea very much, and he says this is how it is in life. In life, you have technically days which are good, which is like the days of plenty, and you have days which are not so good. And Rav Nosson explains that the days that are not so good, they sometimes get to be so bad that they swallow up even the good days. What does that mean? That you could have had amazing days in life, but when the bad days come along, they force it that you see everything negative, and you begin to feel that things were always negative. Even though just yesterday Hashem did such amazing things for you in life, you should be thanking Hashem forever for the kindnesses that you just had. Still, the bad day comes along and gets you in such a negative attitude that you just feel totally miserable, that things were always bad, and it's reflected, and you see how people are always complaining, oh, I have this, I have that, and this and that, and they don't stop complaining, and it's not their fault. It's simply that is the tendency of the nature of the bad days. When they hit, they make the person so negative, right? And the person is so negative that even the good days seem that they never had good days. They're totally swallowed up. That the good days, I may have had them, but there's no value to them. There's nothing to be positive about because of them, because the bad now is so severe, it's swallowing up the bad days. What's the advice? The advice was what Joseph himself gave to Pharaoh, that you have to appoint someone to gather in all of the plenty in the days of plenty. That when there's the good days, to have someone there to not let people just squander and take advantage of the good days and misuse and just misrepresent, throwing misrepresentation into the good of the good days, but to invest it properly. This, Rav Nosson explains, means that when you have the good days, which means also that your devotions to Hashem are also great and filled with vigor and life and joy and everything, to make sure that it's invested in the proper investment bank, and that is by attaching everything you do to the idea of the Tzaddikim. The concept of attaching yourself and all of your devotions, especially your prayers, to the Tzaddikim. These Tzaddikim store away in such a treasury place all the good that you've done in the good days, and they serve as a collateral for the bad days, that you have what to live off. Through the merit of the Tzaddikim, they're able to give you back the collateral of the good that you invested on the condition that you connected it to them, and then on the bad days, you are able to sustain yourself and not have the attitude of being just swallowed up totally, and even the good days I had have no value. Rather, you will be able to properly value the good days while you're going through bad days, and through that be what's called in Hebrew mitchazek, be strong and encourage yourself and strengthen yourself to be positive and maintain a positive attitude even in the worst of days, in the worst of situations, to be able to still be positive and remember some good points. This is the advice that Joseph gave to Pharaoh, and this is the advice that Rav Nosson gives us also, is that don't try to be a Jew on your own. Seek out a tzaddik, a true tzaddik, who will help you in his advice, and by you doing things now through the advice of the tzaddikim take your devotion because they were a result of the advice given to you, as opposed to your own mind deciding, oh, I'm going to learn this, I'm going to daven like this, daven this, and do my own devotions in my life. Rather, you nullify yourself and accept with complete faith the words of the tzaddikim, the advice of the tzaddikim. This gives you a certain connection to the tzaddikim and all your devotion, so that they take it and they boost it and keep it protected and preserved in a very good investment program, so that when you need that help of your mitzvot, without taking the future reward at all, they're able to send you some light of the goodness you've done, of your good points, and give you sustenance in the bad days. This, again, is one of the reasons of the paramount importance of finding a tzaddik, a true tzaddik to connect to, because their advice will be in the long run worthwhile, will be the best investment program you've ever done in your life, in your Judaism, in your Torah, in your Emunah, in everything.